All right, this has been one of the most highly requested tutorials for me to do on the channel, and it's how to make accents and phrases from scratch. I'm really excited to do this video. I've been waiting to do it for a while. I have a whole bunch of gems and tips and tricks to show you of how to create these, how to effects process these, and a couple cool things that I like to do. I'm also going to show you a cool way that you could utilize your MIDI keyboard in a way that it's kind of like an outboard piece of gear or a guitar pedal, but utilizing plugins. You see what I'm saying? Now we got our MIDI keyboard automating all these different parameters, and we're kind of utilizing it as like an outboard effects guitar pedal type thing. This takes it to a whole nother level. So stay tuned for the whole video because we're going to get into a whole bunch of gems for this. Let's get started. All right, first things first, if you don't know what an accent or a phrase is, I'm going to show you some and I'll explain what they are. So accents are going to be something that you can add to your melodies. They're like little textures and like ear candies. They have a tiny bit of melody in them, but they're going by so fast with a whole bunch of effects that it's more something you just add on top of a melody. And then phrases could be like a longer type of played instrument or something. Maybe you have like a saxophone phrase, guitar phrase, but you can also just kind of make them like little loops to use that aren't like full-blown melodies, but they're just like little phrases of instruments. Let me show you real quick kind of what accents and phrases sound like though. So accents would be like this. You've probably heard a whole bunch of these and you just add these on top of the melodies you already have. And then we can go over to phrases and play a couple of these. But yeah, these are just a couple little examples. This is actually my doomed multi-kit. It is 100% royalty free. Accents, phrases, vocals, melody, midis, everything. But let's get into how you can actually make some of these yourself. The first thing you need to do is start off with kind of like a simple melody, and then we're going to get into all the effects processing. For this, I'm kind of going to go with like a bell or a string because those always work well, but you could really use any sound that you want. I'm gonna go inside of my gloomed bank right here, and I'm gonna just get a bell. We could just utilize this bell right here, and let's get string 1 right here. Then let's go inside the piano roll, and we're going to choose a scale. So let's just right click right here. Let's go D minor for this. Let's go here. Something like that. And then we can hit Alt A and we can arpeggiate this. Right? We could start it like this already. We're already kind of getting like that accent type of feel, right? So you can mess around with that. You can mess around with like the gate. We can go different ranges. You could really get crazy with this, or you can just have it be played normally like this and add in your effects. Just make sure you keep it simple. So this one sounds cool, but I'm going to go with like something different for the melody. So let's go down like this. And then back up. And then bring this over here and go up an octave. We're going to get into the first part of this, which is adding the effects. So honestly, the best type of plugins to use when making these accents and phrases is going to be granulizers. That's why you always see us using Portal when we're making these accents, but there's a whole bunch of other ones. Another really good one by Arturia is EFX Fragments. And then you can also utilize Pigments because there's a granulizer in there, which we will have. And if you don't want to buy one, there are some cool free ones out there. All right, so first thing I'm going to add is a little bit of a reverb plate. This one is little plate. So let's just get a little bit of reverb on this. Just like a small plate. Then the next thing we're going to do is bring in Portal. You really just add any effects you want to this. Let's get a delay on here. Just go with Fruity Delay 3. Ping pong. And then some reverb. And then a little bit of EQ. I'm gonna just cut out some of this low end right here. Let's go like this. See, that sounds cool. And then let's just render this out. So let's render it out to a 4-bar. Control Alt C. And now that we have it rendered, we'll just call this accent D minor, so we could stay like kind of organized at least a little bit. And then from here, I'm gonna throw this to stretch. And the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure this is enabled right here, and bring this into about 2 bars to speed it up. And we'll also normalize it and bring the volume down. Little fade out. And now we have an accent. It sounds cool, but I want to bring this even further with the processing. So really just sit here, export things out, pitch it, process it, reverse it, chop it up, whatever. For this one, I'm going to utilize an isotope reverb, the neo verb right here. So let's go right here, hyper chorus, second preset right here. I'm gonna get H delay and do like a very fast, like 1/8 note delay. It's one of my favorite things to do. And then we just bring this up and have the feedback really high. And now watch what this sounds like. Bring the feedback up even more. Let's render this out again. So we have the second version of the accent. So now I'm just gonna normalize this, bring this down, let's stretch it. And then again, we can speed it up even faster if we want like this. And then what we could finally start to do is pitch this around. Let's go up by 4 again, I like that. And then to finalize this one, because we are adding so much to it, we could run it through the same processing and see. Or the first one. Ooh, hold on, that's kind of crazy. Let's mess with both. All right, so let's go into Edison and then we'll just record both of these real quick. All right, so now that we have both of these exported right here, I want to get into showing you what's going to be my favorite part of this video, and it's the way that you can utilize your MIDI keyboard and link the MIDI keyboard to different effects processing units, different parameters, and kind of use it as like an outboard piece of gear or a guitar pedal. I've been doing this for a while and I really just love it. It makes this process really creative and really fun. So let's jump straight into that. So let's go back here to this first one that we have, right? Let's say we have it going through all this different type of effects and whatnot, but let's say we wanted to like automate different things. Like as this is playing, right, we want the reverb to go up at like random parts, or we want Portal, this part to move on the chaos knob. You can create automation clips for it, but if you really want to have fun with this, let me show you what you could do. First thing we want to do is load up Edison. So let's bring this up. This is where we're going to be recording it. It's kind of the same way you would use with the guitar pedal, but let's go back over here and let's take this little plate, for example, and let's say we want to automate the decay time. So all we're going to do is hit this little knob right here called multi-link. So we're going to hit this and we're going to just move this. And as you can see, something happened up there, right? Then we're going to go and move something on our keyboard. Now you see that the decay is moving with this first knob right here. Hopefully this camera's focusing. So now we got that doing this thing, right? And now it's automating. You see where I'm going with this? Just give me a second, watch. So let's go ahead and go into Portal now. And for Portal, let's go ahead and mess with the dry and wet knob. So we'll just click this again, move this real quick, and move something else on here for the second knob. See what I'm saying? Watch. Now we're going to bring this back up. We're going to go over to the little plate, have these both open at the same time. First knob is going to move this decay. Second knob is going to move the dry and wet knob. Let's do it again. Let's go to this chaos thing right here. So we'll click this chaos. We'll move like the third knob. Now, bro, like, come on, you could get so creative with this. It's like a whole little guitar pedal. You could do this with anything. We have this whole thing moving. Then we can even do this bit delay. So let's do that real quick. Let's move another knob, number 4. We can utilize this for anything. We can utilize the mix level right here. We can go inside here, click any of these parameters. We could change the time if we want. You could really get creative with this, but just to keep it easy so it's not like sounding too crazy, we'll probably just like mess with the mix knob right here. So this is all you need to do now. You can send anything through here. You can save this as a preset, load up any plugins you want, get creative, get crazy with it. And then all you got to do is go on Edison, hit record, and let this like loop. I'd say probably like a bigger loop like this is probably going to be good, even maybe like 8 bars, but we'll just do like 4 right here. We'll let Edison loop, and I'm going to go over to the MIDI keyboard and mess with these. You see what I'm saying, bro? Come on, man. Using the MIDI keyboard as like a whole type of like this takes like automating and accents to a whole nother level. Let me show you one more crazy one. Watch. This is one of my favorite ones to do. If we get like halftime in here, so let's just go right here, mix knob, and let me bring it over here. Check this out. You see what I'm saying? Now we got our MIDI keyboard automating all these different parameters, and we're kind of utilizing it as like an outboard effects guitar pedal type thing. This takes it to a whole nother level. And then the last thing I want to show you is utilizing the granular feature inside of Pigments and dragging your own sample in. So let's just go right into Pigments. This is fine. We could just use this. We'll just change this to sample right here. And then we have this sample here. We could do like a fresh one, but it's fine just to make this quick. And let's just take this one right here, drag it in here. And now this will be linked and then we can play it, right? Turn all the rest of this off, but let's just turn on the granular feature and let's mess with this. We could bring our start here, bring the time out. Let's go up to here, bring the volume, width, size. And you just really mess with this and find out. The pitch one is going to be the one that could kind of mess you up though. But there's a whole bunch of different things you could do inside of here. So if you do have Pigments, this is like another way you can utilize a granular synth and kind of get different sounds. And then for phrases, you could really just build out any type of phrase that you want, or kind of like a whole little melody, something like that. But to give you an idea, we'll utilize a string from my Eternal Analog Lab bank right here. And then we'll just go inside of piano roll and we'll just create something real quick. So I did change this to F sharp minor. So let's just build something out. Let's see. Let's go up here. I like to throw them into the processing just to see what happens. So let's go into the first one, see what it sounds like. It sounds kind of crazy. We still have all these linked too, so I can mess with these. Ooh. Kind of like that. That's like a cool little phrase. Let's solo this. Throw on one of your melodies or some of your accents and whatnot, and then just add like top lines to it, like little phrase parts, guitars, pianos, whatever you want, or make like full phrases that are kind of like small loops. Do whatever you want, just get creative. But we got this now, right? We can stretch this and pitch it up and see what this sounds like. We can even reverse it. That'd be like a cool little phrase. What does it sound like reversed and pitched up even more? Yep. And then hold on. This might be crazy. Let's cut it right here. Go like this. See, we're already getting something going. And what if we threw this into the processing again? Number one. I don't know. Might go crazy. Mess with them. We still have them linked. So just get creative with this and I don't know, just have fun. That's really all it's about when creating accents and phrases. I just sit here for hours, especially when I'm utilizing the MIDI keyboard trick and I kind of feel like I'm just right there with some guitar pedals just going crazy. It just makes this process so much fun. So hopefully you picked up some gems in this video and hopefully it gave you some ideas of how you can make accents and phrases yourself. And before we get out of here, I do want to mention again that the Doomed multi-kit is out. A whole bunch of crazy accents, phrases, melody midis, and a whole bunch of vocals, and they are all 100% royalty free. And then on top of that, just some of the craziest drums that you could get. So there'll be a link to that in the description. As always, appreciate you watching. Hopefully you did learn something from this video. Make sure to join the Discord, link to that in the description. So as always, appreciate you watching. Till next time, peace.